Nikola Tesla, a name that resonates with innovation and mystery. While most remember him as the brilliant inventor who harnessed electricity and pioneered wireless technology, few know about his profound spiritual insights. Welcome to the untold story of how one of history's greatest scientific minds ventured beyond the physical realm to explore what happens to consciousness after death. Born during a lightning storm in 1856, Tesla seemed destined for an extraordinary life. His contributions to modern civilization are immeasurable. Alternating current, radio technology, remote control, and wireless transmission of energy were just a few of his revolutionary concepts. But beneath the inventor's exterior lived a philosopher who dared to question the nature of human existence itself. Throughout his life, Tesla experienced unusual perceptions and abilities. He claimed to receive intuitive flashes of insight, complete technical solutions appearing to him in vivid detail. These experiences led him to question the conventional boundaries between mind and matter, energy and consciousness. While Edison focused on material inventions, Tesla's vision extended to understanding the energetic nature of reality, including what might happen to our energy, our consciousness, when our physical bodies cease functioning. In this journey, we'll explore Tesla's lesser-known contemplations about life after death, consciousness, and energy that cannot be destroyed. His perspectives were not merely spiritual musings but extensions of his scientific understanding of energy, frequency, and vibration, principles that modern quantum physics continues to validate. What if this visionary glimpsed truths about our existence that science is only now beginning to comprehend? Join us as we uncover why Tesla's profound perspectives on consciousness and the afterlife were overshadowed, misunderstood, and ultimately ignored by a world not yet ready to bridge the gap between science and spirituality. If you want to find the secrets of the universe, think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration. This famous Tesla quote serves as the foundation for understanding his perspective on consciousness and what happens after death. But what exactly did he mean? Tesla understood something fundamental about our universe that mainstream science has only recently begun to embrace. Everything is energy. Matter itself is simply energy vibrating at different frequencies. Our physical bodies, the chair you're sitting on, the device you're watching this on, all are energy in various states of organization and vibration. What fascinated Tesla was the question: if our bodies are energy systems, what happens to that energy when we die? The first law of thermodynamics states that energy cannot be created or destroyed. It can only be transformed. Tesla applied this scientific principle to human consciousness, reasoning that our awareness, the essence of who we are, must also be a form of energy that cannot simply disappear. Tesla's perspective was revolutionary because it bridged materialist science with more metaphysical questions. He proposed that consciousness isn't produced by the brain but rather channeled through it, like electricity through a conduit. The brain, in Tesla's view, functioned as a receiver and transmitter of cosmic energy and information. Through his experiments with electromagnetic fields and wireless energy transmission, Tesla developed a unique understanding of invisible energetic processes. He observed how energy could be transferred without physical contact across vast distances. This led him to consider that perhaps consciousness operates on similar principles, existing as a field rather than being confined to our physical bodies. What makes Tesla's views so compelling is that they weren't based on religious doctrine or mystical speculation alone, but on scientific principles of energy conservation and transformation. He saw no contradiction between rigorous scientific investigation and contemplation of consciousness surviving bodily death. For Tesla, both were simply different aspects of understanding the same energetic reality that composes our universe. Tesla's insights about consciousness weren't merely theoretical. They were informed by extraordinary personal experiences that shaped his understanding of reality. Throughout his life, Tesla reported unusual perceptual experiences that defied conventional explanation. From childhood, Tesla experienced vivid flashes of light accompanied by moments of apparent insight. "Ideas came like lightning," he once said, describing how complete inventions would appear to him in perfect detail, as if received from some external source. These weren't mere daydreams. They were precise technical blueprints that he could then construct in the physical world. One of Tesla's most transformative experiences came during a near-death illness in his early 20s. During this period of extreme physical weakness, he reported expanded states of consciousness where he could see energy fields and perceive reality beyond normal sensory limitations. After recovering, Tesla was convinced that consciousness could operate independently of the physical body. In his New York laboratory, Tesla conducted countless experiments with electromagnetic fields. Colleagues reported that he would sometimes stand within these powerful fields and enter altered states of awareness. During these sessions, Tesla claimed to perceive what he called the primary particles of creation, glimpses into the fundamental nature of reality that informed both his scientific work and his understanding of consciousness. Tesla also described experiences of non-local awareness, perceiving events at great distances without physical means of communication. These experiences convinced him that consciousness wasn't confined to the brain but existed as part of a universal field of intelligence that transcended physical limitations. Perhaps most intriguing were Tesla's reports of communication with what he described as other intelligences. While skeptics dismissed these as hallucinations or eccentricities, Tesla maintained that consciousness existed across multiple planes of reality and that humans could potentially access these different levels of awareness. These personal experiences formed the foundation of Tesla's conviction that consciousness doesn't end with physical death but transitions to another state of being. A scientifically consistent view given his understanding of energy conservation. "We are all one," Tesla wrote in his notes. "Our bodies are made from the same star stuff. Our souls are connected by something that goes beyond physical form." This profound insight reflects Tesla's understanding of what we might call the cosmic connection, the relationship between individual consciousness and the universe at large. Tesla believed that consciousness isn't limited to humans or even living organisms but exists as a fundamental property of the cosmos itself. His views paralleled ancient wisdom traditions while being expressed in the language of electrical engineering. Tesla spoke of a cosmic web that connects all things, a network of energy through which information flows across time and space. Through his experiments with wireless transmission, Tesla developed technology that could transmit energy through the Earth itself. This led him to consider that perhaps the planet functions as a conductor not just for electricity but for consciousness. He wrote that the Earth resonates with specific frequencies that influence all life forms and potentially serve as channels for awareness. Tesla's cosmic perspective suggested that individual human consciousness is like a wave on the ocean of universal awareness. Upon death, he proposed, our individual awareness doesn't disappear but returns to this greater field, transformed but not destroyed, just as his beloved electrical currents never vanish but change form. What made Tesla's view revolutionary was his proposal that this process follows natural laws that could potentially be studied scientifically. He didn't see the afterlife as supernatural but as a natural continuation of energetic processes. Tesla speculated that advanced technology might someday allow us to detect and even communicate across these different planes of existence. The implications were staggering. If Tesla was correct, death would represent not an ending but a transition, a change of frequency rather than cessation of being. Our consciousness would continue to exist within the cosmic network, perhaps even retaining aspects of individuality while rejoining the greater whole. This cosmic connection formed the cornerstone of Tesla's understanding of the afterlife, a vision that was neither religious in the traditional sense nor materialistic, but instead represented a third path that honored both scientific principles and the mystery of consciousness. Among Tesla's most fascinating but least known theories was his concept of the three planes of existence. In private journals and conversations with close associates, Tesla described a model of reality that extends far beyond the physical world we perceive with our senses. According to Tesla, these planes aren't separate locations but different frequencies or densities of energy, all occupying the same space but vibrating at different rates. The first plane is the material world we're familiar with, the realm of physical matter and biological processes. It's the densest form of energy, operating at the lowest frequency. The second plane Tesla called the ethereal realm, a dimension of pure energy patterns that underlies and informs physical reality. He believed this realm contains the templates or blueprints for everything that manifests in the physical world. Interestingly, Tesla claimed that during his moments of inventive insight, he was actually accessing information from this ethereal plane. The third plane Tesla described as consciousness itself, the highest frequency realm where individual awareness merges with universal intelligence. This wasn't a religious concept for Tesla, but a scientific one. He believed consciousness was a fundamental force in the universe, like gravity or electromagnetism. Tesla's model proposed that at death, human consciousness naturally transitions from the physical plane to the ethereal and potentially to the third plane. This transition follows what he called resonance principles, the same laws that govern how electrical systems with matching frequencies transfer energy between them. What's remarkable about Tesla's three-plane model is how it anticipated modern physics concepts. Today's string theory proposes multiple dimensions beyond our perceivable reality. Quantum physics recognizes that particles can exist in different states and that observation affects reality, concepts that align with Tesla's vision of interconnected planes of existence. Tesla claimed to have detected evidence of these other planes during his experiments with extremely low frequencies. He reported measuring anomalous energy patterns that couldn't be accounted for by known physical processes, patterns he believed were bleed-through from the ethereal plane. If Tesla's model is accurate, death isn't an end but a shift from one energetic state to another, from the physical plane to the ethereal and beyond. Our essential consciousness, the energy that animates us, continues its journey through these higher frequency realms. Tesla's views on consciousness and the afterlife remained largely unknown during his lifetime and continue to be overshadowed today. Why would such potentially transformative insights from one of history's greatest scientific minds be ignored? The reasons reveal much about the limitations of both science and society during Tesla's era, and our own. First, Tesla lived during a time of rigid separation between science and spirituality. The scientific establishment was asserting its authority by rejecting anything that couldn't be measured with the instruments of the day. Tesla's ideas about non-physical consciousness threatened the materialist paradigm that was becoming dominant in scientific circles. The business interests that controlled scientific research also played a crucial role in suppressing Tesla's broader vision. J.P. Morgan and other financiers who initially supported Tesla's electrical innovations withdrew funding when they realized his ultimate goal was free energy for all humanity. These same interests had little patience for his philosophical explorations of consciousness, which offered no obvious profit opportunities. Tesla's own personality contributed to the obscurity of his spiritual insights. Intensely private about his deeper thoughts, he rarely published his philosophical views, instead focusing his public communications on practical inventions. His more profound considerations about consciousness and the afterlife were shared only with a small circle of confidants. The established religious institutions of the time were equally unreceptive. Tesla's scientifically informed spirituality threatened theological monopolies on afterlife narratives. His vision offered a third path that neither rejected spirituality, as materialist science did, nor required faith in specific doctrines, as organized religion demanded. Perhaps most significantly, Tesla's views arrived too early. The scientific understanding needed to appreciate his perspective, quantum physics, field theory, and consciousness studies, was still in its infancy. Without this foundation, his insights about energy and consciousness seemed more like science fiction than serious possibility. Media representation further marginalized Tesla's holistic vision. Journalists found it easier to portray him as either an eccentric inventor or a mad scientist rather than engage with his complex understanding of consciousness and energy. This one-dimensional portrayal persists in popular culture today. The ultimate irony is that Tesla's perspective on consciousness might have bridged the divide between science and spirituality, a reconciliation our fragmented society desperately needs. Instead, his holistic vision was sacrificed on the altar of specialization, with different aspects of his work claimed by different camps while the unifying whole was lost. Nearly a century after Tesla proposed his ideas about energy and consciousness, modern science is beginning to venture into territory remarkably similar to what he described. The convergence between cutting-edge research and Tesla's once-dismissed views suggests he may have been not mistaken but simply ahead of his time. Quantum physics has revolutionized our understanding of reality in ways that echo Tesla's perspectives. The discovery that particles can exist in multiple states simultaneously, superposition, and that observation affects reality challenges the purely materialist worldview. As physicist Sir James Jeans noted, the universe begins to look more like a great thought than like a great machine. The field of bioelectromagnetics has validated Tesla's belief in the electrical nature of biological organisms. Scientists have mapped the body's electromagnetic field and discovered that cellular communication relies on electromagnetic signaling. Every thought and emotion produces measurable changes in this field, precisely as Tesla suggested. Consciousness research has evolved dramatically, with studies on near-death experiences providing tantalizing evidence that awareness can continue when brain activity ceases. The work of researchers like Dr. Sam Parnia at NYU Langone Health has documented verified perceptions by patients during periods of clinical death, observations that should be impossible if consciousness is produced solely by the brain. The concept of non-local consciousness, which Tesla proposed, has found support in rigorous studies of phenomena like remote viewing and telepathy. Institutions including Stanford Research Institute and Princeton Engineering Anomalies Research Laboratory have produced peer-reviewed research suggesting consciousness can operate beyond physical limitations. Systems theory and complexity science have developed models of reality as interconnected networks, similar to Tesla's cosmic web. These fields recognize that emergent properties arise from complex systems that cannot be reduced to their individual components, a scientific framework that allows for consciousness as an emergent or fundamental property. Perhaps most striking is the development of the information theory of consciousness, which proposes that information, not matter, is the fundamental reality. This parallels Tesla's view that energy patterns underlie physical reality, and that consciousness might be understood as organized information that can exist independently of physical substrates. The theoretical physics concept of the zero-point field, an ocean of microscopic vibrations in the space between objects, bears remarkable similarity to Tesla's ethereal plane. Both describe an invisible energy field that permeates all of reality and may serve as a medium for consciousness. As science continues to evolve, the gap between Tesla's visionary understanding and mainstream research narrows, suggesting that his insights about consciousness and its continuation after death may yet find vindication in laboratories around the world. If Tesla's understanding of consciousness and the afterlife contains truth, what difference does it make in our daily lives? The practical implications of his perspective extend far beyond abstract philosophy, potentially transforming how we live, die, and relate to one another. First, Tesla's view fundamentally changes our relationship with death. Rather than an ending to fear or deny, death becomes a transition to be understood, a change of energetic state rather than cessation of being. This perspective can reduce the existential anxiety that underlies many psychological challenges and social dysfunctions. Our approach to living changes when we recognize ourselves as primarily consciousness temporarily experiencing physical form. Tesla believed that understanding our energetic nature would lead to greater harmony with natural laws and more purposeful existence. We might prioritize different values if we see our lives as chapters in a longer energetic journey rather than the entire story. The way we treat our physical bodies would evolve with Tesla's insight that they are sophisticated energy systems. His perspective suggests that practices affecting our energetic patterns, meditation, conscious breathing, connection with nature, aren't merely subjective experiences but interactions with objective energetic realities that influence our consciousness. Tesla's vision implies that consciousness development is a lifelong process with consequences beyond physical death. He believed that how we focus our attention and energy during life influences what aspects of consciousness we carry forward. This creates a natural ethical framework based not on external rewards and punishments but on energetic cause and effect. Our relationships with others transform when we understand Tesla's concept of interconnected consciousness. If we are fundamentally connected through a shared field of awareness, then compassion becomes rational rather than merely emotional. We literally affect one another at the energetic level. Medical approaches might evolve to include energetic dimensions of healing. Tesla predicted that future medicine would primarily address energy imbalances rather than just physical symptoms, a vision increasingly validated by research into biofields and energy medicine. Education could expand to develop awareness of our multidimensional nature. Tesla believed humans naturally possess subtle perceptual abilities that atrophy without cultivation. education system informed by his perspective would train awareness of energy and consciousness alongside intellectual development. Perhaps most importantly, Tesla's understanding could help heal the divide between science and spirituality. By providing a framework that honors both empirical investigation and subjective experience, his perspective offers common ground for these seemingly opposed approaches to understanding reality. Rather than a theoretical curiosity, Tesla's vision of consciousness continuing beyond death offers a practical framework for living more aware, purposeful, and connected lives, regardless of whether its every detail proves scientifically verifiable. We stand at a unique moment in history, a time when the conditions finally exist for Tesla's integrated vision of science, consciousness, and the afterlife to be fully appreciated. The question becomes, how do we reclaim and build upon this aspect of Tesla's legacy? First, we must recognize that Tesla's perspective on consciousness wasn't separate from his scientific work but integral to it. His most profound inventions emerged from an understanding of reality that included both physical and non-physical dimensions. By artificially separating Tesla, the inventor, from Tesla, the consciousness explorer, we've fragmented his unified vision. Scientific investigation of consciousness must continue with both rigor and openness. Tesla would have encouraged methodical research into phenomena that challenge conventional understanding, not to abandon the scientific method but to expand its application beyond material processes. Today's emerging fields of consciousness studies and quantum biology represent steps in this direction. Education plays a crucial role in reclaiming Tesla's holistic perspective. Our current educational system often reinforces the false dichotomy between scientific and spiritual understanding. Integrated approaches that recognize consciousness as a legitimate field of study alongside physics and biology would better reflect Tesla's understanding of an interconnected reality. On a personal level, each of us can experiment with Tesla's principles through practices that develop awareness of our energetic nature. Mindfulness meditation, intentional focus on subtle perceptions, and conscious engagement with the natural world can provide experiential insight into the aspects of reality Tesla described. Public discourse around death and consciousness needs renovation. Tesla offered a perspective that was neither conventionally religious nor materialistic, a third pathway that could bridge divided worldviews. By bringing these conversations into mainstream cultural dialogue, we create space for more nuanced understanding. The preservation and study of Tesla's complete works, including his private journals and notes on consciousness, deserves priority. Some of his most profound insights may still lie undiscovered in archives or collections, waiting to contribute to our evolving understanding. Perhaps most importantly, reclaiming Tesla's vision requires integration rather than specialization, a willingness to see connections across disciplines and domains of knowledge. Tesla himself moved fluidly between technological innovation, theoretical physics, and consciousness exploration. This integrative approach may be his most valuable legacy. As we conclude our exploration, remember that Tesla's understanding of consciousness continuing beyond death wasn't based on wishful thinking, but on the same penetrating insight that revolutionized our technological world. His vision offers not just comfort about mortality, but a more complete understanding of what it means to be conscious beings in an energetic universe. The world may have ignored Tesla's revelations about the soul's path after death, but perhaps now, with greater scientific understanding and expanding awareness, we're finally ready to receive them. End with quote. The day science begins to study non-physical phenomena, it will make more progress in 1 decade than in all the previous centuries of its existence. Nikola Tesla.